What if everything you thought you knew about debt was a carefully constructed lie designed to keep you from true financial freedom? For years, we've been told to run from debt, to avoid it like the plague, to pay it off at all costs. But what if the very thing you fear is the exact tool the wealthiest among us use not just to survive, but to absolutely thrive and accumulate massive fortunes? Stick with me, because today we're dissecting their unconventional playbook. Most people live in a constant battle against debt. It feels like a heavy chain, limiting choices, fueling stress, and making financial growth an uphill struggle. You work hard, you save diligently, maybe you even pay down your mortgage aggressively, all because you're taught debt is inherently bad. This deeply ingrained fear, while well-intentioned in principle, actually prevents countless individuals from ever reaching their full financial potential. While you're meticulously chipping away at a credit card balance, the financial elite are using that same concept, but with a different strategy, to accelerate their empires. It's a profound difference in mindset that keeps one group stagnant and the other rapidly expanding. Have you ever felt trapped by this common advice? Share your thoughts below. This video isn't just about understanding debt, it's about a radical paradigm shift. We're going to expose the great debt deception, unveil the crucial distinction between good debt and bad debt, and show you exactly how the wealthy leverage other people's money to acquire income-generating assets. We'll explore strategies for optimizing debt and, most importantly, help you adopt the strategic investor mindset that can transform your financial future. This isn't just theory, it's a practical blueprint for a powerful financial lever. The very first step to unlocking this financial superpower is dismantling the myth of universal debt avoidance. Society has drilled into us that all debt is bad. Think about it. A student loan, a car loan, a credit card balance. These are all painted with the same broad stroke of financial evil. This conditioning serves a purpose, certainly, in preventing reckless spending, but it also blinds us to debt's true nature. A powerful tool, neutral in itself, waiting to be wielded for either destruction or creation. Most people see only the risk, never the opportunity, completely missing how a business expansion loan or a mortgage on an income-producing property can be fundamentally different from a loan for a depreciating asset. The truth is, the rich don't fear debt, they understand it. So, what's their secret? It boils down to a fundamental distinction that most financial advice completely ignores: good debt versus bad debt. Bad debt is what we all know too well. It pulls money out of your pocket, often for depreciating assets or immediate consumption. Think credit card debt on clothes, a loan for a new car that loses value the moment you drive it off the lot, or a personal loan for a vacation. Good debt, on the other hand, is completely different. Good debt puts money into your pocket, or it buys an asset that appreciates in value or generates income. It's leverage, a multiplier for your net worth. Understanding this single difference is the bedrock of strategic wealth building. But how do you actually acquire this good debt? This brings us to one of the most powerful concepts in wealth creation: leveraging other people's money, or OPM. Most people are stuck trying to grow their wealth solely with their own savings, a slow and often frustrating process. The wealthy rarely use their own capital to buy significant assets. Instead, they skillfully use borrowed money, OPM, to acquire income-generating investments. This allows them to scale their operations faster, multiply their returns, and conserve their own cash for other opportunities. Imagine trying to build a skyscraper one brick at a time with only the bricks you own. The rich, however, secure a loan for the entire building, knowing the rents will cover the mortgage and leave them with a valuable, appreciating asset. It's a fundamental shift from self-funding to strategic financing, and nowhere is this clearer than in the world of real estate. Consider a real-world scenario, albeit a hypothetical one. Sarah, an aspiring investor, wants to acquire an income-producing property. Instead of saving up the entire $500,000, she leverages a mortgage, perhaps putting down just 20%. So, with $100,000 of her own capital, she controls an asset worth 5 times that. The property generates consistent rental income, which not only covers the mortgage payment and expenses, but also provides a positive cash flow. Over time, the property appreciates in value, and the tenants effectively pay down her mortgage, building equity for her with every single month. This isn't just about passive income, it's about using borrowed money to control a much larger asset, benefiting from its appreciation and cash flow without having to own it outright. Sarah's wealth isn't just growing, it's compounding rapidly, all thanks to a good mortgage. This same principle extends powerfully into the business world. Now, let's look at the entrepreneurial realm. Imagine David, who identifies a smaller, struggling business with incredible growth potential. Instead of funding the acquisition from his personal savings, he secures a business loan. He then uses this borrowed capital to revamp operations, introduce new products, and expand into untapped markets. The increased revenue and profitability not only cover the loan repayments, but also dramatically increase the overall valuation of the business. This isn't just limited to acquisitions. Businesses regularly use debt to fund expansion, research and development, or even leveraged buyouts, strategically taking on debt to grow their market share and asset base. This type of debt is a growth accelerator, allowing businesses to seize opportunities far beyond what their immediate cash reserves would permit. But simply taking on debt isn't enough. You need to master the art of optimization. Even the smartest debt can become a burden if not actively managed. The rich don't just acquire debt, they optimize it. This means continually looking for ways to improve the terms of their loans. Refinancing, for example, isn't just for homeowners. It's a powerful tool for businesses and investors to secure lower interest rates, reducing their monthly payments and freeing up cash flow. Another advanced strategy is interest rate arbitrage, borrowing money at a low interest rate and investing it into an asset that reliably generates a higher rate of return. It's like borrowing money at 4% and investing it in something that consistently yields 8%. The 4% difference is pure profit. This proactive management turns debt from a fixed liability into a flexible financial instrument. But none of this works without the right mindset. At the core of the wealthy's approach to debt is a profound shift in perspective. For them, debt is not a burden to be avoided, but a strategic tool to be leveraged. It's an instrument, like a hammer or a drill, that can build or destroy depending on how you use it. They view debt as capital, a resource that can be acquired, deployed, and managed to achieve specific financial objectives. This investor mindset isn't about reckless borrowing. It's about calculated risk, understanding the difference between productive and unproductive assets, and integrating debt into a larger, coherent investment strategy. It's about asking, how can this borrowed capital help me acquire or build something that generates more wealth? This shift alone can unlock possibilities you never imagined. However, this path isn't without its dangers. Even with the best intentions, good debt can turn bad if not handled with extreme care. This is where many aspiring investors falter. Common pitfalls include over-leveraging, where you take on too much debt relative to your income or the asset's performance, leaving no room for error. Another is poor asset selection, investing borrowed money into something that fails to perform as expected or worse, depreciates. Market downturns can also quickly expose vulnerabilities, turning a calculated risk into a significant liability. That's why diligent research, stress testing your assumptions, and having robust contingency plans are absolutely crucial. Remember, the goal isn't just to acquire debt, it's to manage it expertly. So, how can you start applying these principles in your own life? Your journey to leveraging smart debt begins with building a strong financial foundation. The first step is cultivating an excellent credit score, which is your passport to accessing favorable loan terms. Focus on paying bills on time, keeping credit utilization low, and maintaining a diverse credit history. Once your credit profile is robust, start small. Look for your first good debt. This could be a modest rental property, a small business expansion, or even a low-interest loan for education that genuinely enhances your earning potential. The key is to begin with manageable, income-producing assets that align with your risk tolerance and financial goals. This isn't about getting rich quick. It's about building a foundation step by step for lasting wealth. Now, I want you to consider something. If you've ever felt held back by financial limitations, by the fear of debt, then you now have a choice. You can continue down the well-trodden path of debt aversion, or you can embrace this new perspective, understanding that strategic debt can be a powerful catalyst for your financial aspirations. The knowledge you've gained today isn't just theoretical, it's actionable. Delaying action means leaving potential wealth on the table, allowing fear to dictate your financial destiny. True financial freedom isn't just about having money, it's about mastering the tools that create it. If this video has challenged your perspective and opened your eyes to new possibilities, hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel for more insights into mastering your money and your life. And in the comments below, tell me, what's one good debt opportunity you're now considering? Or what's the biggest misconception about debt you've held? Your engagement helps us reach more people and empower them to build their financial future. Don't let outdated beliefs about debt be the chain that binds you. Instead, transform it into the lever that lifts you. The wealthiest individuals don't avoid debt, they master it. They understand it's a tool, not a villain. By distinguishing between good debt and bad debt, leveraging other people's money, and consistently optimizing their financial structures, they build legacies. It's time to change your financial narrative, to move beyond simple saving, and to step into the world of strategic investment. Apply these principles thoughtfully with diligence and foresight, and watch as you embark on your own path to becoming not just richer in money, but richer in financial wisdom and freedom. The journey begins now.